Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing? As you can see, we're here. This background looks a little bit different. My camera is all effed up. My mic is not set up. It's okay. We are here in the big old city of. We are here in the big old city of Marshall, Texas. Ain't it huge? The hotel just opened at 6. Ain't that something? But anyway, we're here. We're thankful. We're blessed that we're here. Um, we're happy that we're able to be here. I was not supposed to go live um, on today with so much going on, and um, I decided to say fuck it, that I was going to be here regardless. I said if I had breath in my body, I was going to ensure that I did this podcast every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Some think for the people. Like I say, our background is different, our board is different. We don't know what the hell is going on. I don't have time to figure out. Just know that I'm here. I got to do a few housekeeping issues before we get started. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming out and enjoying with us on the Some Think For, the number 4. Don't forget that. People always ask. Some Think For the People podcast. I am here with the executive producer and co-host, Girl Pam, the Missus. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we're here. We're thankful to be here. At this point, that's all I can say. We're thankful to be here. A few things I need to get out the way right quick that I did not have time to do on last week. I did, but I didn't. Um, August, one of our sponsors for the show, August 25th through the 27th, the Louisiana Soul Food Fall Fest. Two of the leaders of this annual Soul Food Fall Fest are Tammy and Cami Wright, the twins. I know you all know them. There's a lot that's going to be going on that weekend. Domino's and Soul Food, Pelican Car, Bike, and Truck Show, Lil Kiki and Fiend. Again, the Pelican Car and Bike Show. We also have the sweet potato pie that Sunday. I need to get a slice, but if it ain't good, I'm gonna tell y'all it's not good. And we have the seafood boil hosted by Chef Stanley and the competition. So that's a few things we have going on. If you would like to be a vendor, reach out to Tammy Wright, founder and event coordinator. This is her info. I will also put that link up if we can. So you'll hear a little music in the background. That's my. I don't have a drink. I'm drinking water. Lord Jesus, help me, Father. We're gonna make it through. Good evening, all of you that decided to come out and join us. We want to thank you. Um, this week I ain't broke down, but it has broken me some. The last 17 or so hours kind of broke me a little bit. It tested my faith, my thoughts, my strength, and my marriage.
Yes, Lord. Because this one over here,
No, this one over here.
well, we made it through the pandemic together.
We
But
made
this
it.
power outage, day 6,
I am not a hot person.
because day 5, when she get a little heated, her patience goes out the window. She goes from 0 to 10 in 0.25 seconds. It is not pretty, people.
And she goes 0 to 100 behind the minimal things, and I just be like, motherfucker, we ain't got no heat.
We
I
ain't
don't
got
give a
no
damn.
air. We
We ain't
had
got no
plenty.
no. We ain't got no air. We had plenty of heat. You're right. Like we can't wash. I'm a washer. I love to wash dry clothes. I hate the clothes pile up. I can't wash and dry. We ain't got no air. The dogs hot and slobbering. The dogs sweat. Our dogs are inside dogs, and this was day 7. Tomorrow will officially be day 7. Day 6, and we're just like, getting hotel rooms and resting and trying to travel back and forth with the dogs. And don't get me wrong, we did have friends that reached out that wanted to help us, but we're just not those to impose on people. So it has been a struggle trying to make sure that we were okay. We shipped the parentals off on Saturday to make sure that they were cool and able to get the things that they needed. However, we had to stay because we have two little wonderful fur babies, and we couldn't impose that on other people. So I don't know about y'all. Reach out in the comments. Let us know. It's been hard. It's been a struggle.
But you know what's crazy? Although that I don't know what, but what was crazy for me is we were going through the heat wave in the house, but my internal clock was still going crazy.
I don't give a damn about no internal clock going crazy. I want some air conditioning.
Because I was still looking at her and I was like, now this don't make no sense.
I don't give a damn how turned on. She only. Let me tell y'all something. The only reason she was turned on because I was handling my duties, cleaning, cleaning, throwing stuff out.
A little bit of aggression.
Yeah, I had some aggression. I was ready to whoop Swepco ass. I was almost out there like Paul Bunyan. I started to go out there with a knife, with a butcher knife, and cut the motherfucking trees and the lines because they didn't even get a worker out on Jefferson Page Road until yesterday. Do you understand me? They did not get a truck out on Jefferson Page Road to cut down a tree or branch until yesterday. So while everybody's talking about, "Ooh, yeah, we got air, whoop whoop." Thank you, Swepco. I was like, "Fuck you, Swepco." Okay. Then for them to send me a bill today, pay your bill.
Swepco. We saw Elliot.
Yeah, the fuck Swepco. Thank you, Elliot, for being in the vicinity and in the area to do your job. Don't tell me no shit about what Swepco called him. Fuck Swepco. Thank you, Elliot, from whatever city, state, and country you came from. We're just thankful to see the trucks in the area and moving because down Jefferson Page Road, we stay by a lot of older people. And my mother and them are about 2 miles, 2.5 miles up the road. And so they still, of course, do not have power as well. And it's nothing but their community is, our community is old, their community is real old. Nothing but old people, which is why they were sent away from here. Had to send my mother to Mississippi, had to send my grandmother to Texas. I'm just like, where the hell we going? Nowhere, because we got fur babies and a new grandbaby, and so it's just been a mess, people. Shaylin still had work, so it's been crazy. Holler out, holler back. I understand this is not what this show is about. I do want to send, I know that a couple of people asked me not to name them. And so by their respects, I will not name them. You know who you are. Thank you to those of you that have reached out and offered. We truly appreciate it. You all have been a blessing in disguise.
You know what? Gussie and all of those that know me know Gussie is my mother. And Gussie used to always drill this one thing into me growing up that
what's the one thing?
You don't need friends. The only friend you need is Jesus. You have associates.
I don't quite agree with that.
Well, I'm telling you why Gussie used to
tell me why
Gussie
said that.
And I never, my whole life, I used to try to dispel her belief because she was like, the only friend I need is Jesus. I have associates. I don't have friends. But during this 6 days of no power, I started to question that because during day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, I was like, not one person reached out and said, hey, do y'all need anything? Not a member of the family, not a friend, not a soror said, hey, do y'all...
She just don't want to be
I said day 1, 2, 3 said anything. By day 4, a soror who I love dearly, who wants to remain nameless, reached out and offered us a place to stay, who wants to remain nameless. And then by day 5, we had a couple other friends that live in Texas that reached out and say, hey, do y'all need anything? And then I started to realize that Gussie is right. You don't need friends. You need associates because when you're going through this right here, if you don't have somebody that say, hey, y'all all right? What do you need? Even if you couldn't offer us a place to stay, it's just, and we wouldn't have accepted because you know us, we're going to tough it out together because when it comes with 1, it comes with 2. And if you can't take 1 and 2, and then if I'm not going to leave my daughter out. So if you can't take 1, 2, and 3, then you can't take either of us. But it's just the idea to offer. Because this one here goes above and beyond for anybody. She can see a post. And she don't even have to know
what
you.
We here for.
And she gonna reach out to you. So that really made me think about what Gussie said. I'm like, Gussie might have been right.
Well, our thoughts are different. We have good friend base, and they did reach out,
You
but
have
they were.
good friend base.
Well, I know.
I do not have
I
good
know
friend
you're
base,
talking about your
but
friend
I
base,
have
but
had good
I
friend
have to.
bases because of you.
Right,
None
and
of
so,
my friends that I have reached out to me, but the ones that I have
girl.
connected to you have reached out, and it's okay.
So, with that being said, that was her experience. And my experience on the other end, I had people reach out to me that I didn't even know would reach out. That came out of nowhere, and I was like, this is an unexpected reach out. And some of those that did reach out, I did expect because we just have always been there for each other. Some of the people that didn't reach out, I was very surprised that they didn't reach out, and it's okay. Because like I said, we are all going through something. Everyone was struggling. And when you came out of the struggle, sometimes a lot of people just did not remember to think back and pick somebody up with them. And I think that is one of the biggest lessons I learned in this. I have always been taught no matter how high up you go or no matter how far you go, reach back and pull somebody with you. And so this is my lesson for these 6 days of no electricity, sitting in a hotel that smell like feet and ass water because they just got power on at 6 o'clock. The bitches should have told us the power wasn't on when we booked, but it's okay. We're okay. Um, my lesson in this to everyone is to let people know when you go up or when you elevate, pull someone up with you. It takes nothing from you to reach down or reach out and bring someone with you. It's okay. It's all right. I just want that to be the lesson. And we thank those that reached out. We thank those that
But
opened
I'm
their
gonna
home.
keep what Gussie said in the back of my
I'm not going to
mind.
do
What
that.
Gussie said
I
is
want
in
to
the back
thank
of my
those that
mind.
reached out and opened their home or offered their home, whether it was offering us a cup of ice water, a couch, just to sit out and be a cooling station, telling us to bring the dogs, we're leaving the key. Anyone, we just want to thank you all so very, very much. We're
Those who
appreciative.
reached out
Yes,
greatly appreciate it
greatly
because when I
appreciate it.
tell you, I started to make a post about what Gussie said like
This girl
four
started this
times,
post 12
and
times.
I took it back because I
She
was like,
say
you
4,
know
I say
what,
12.
Jesus, I'm not gonna let them win. I was not gonna put it out there, but it just really hurt my heart
Yeah,
that the people that I thought were near and dear to me did not reach out.
it's okay. It doesn't matter. And let me say this. I have to say something about this before I move into my segments. I know y'all are like, get to the good shit, get to the good shit. It's coming, but I have to say this before. I'm always giving you tissue on here. What in the hell? This is supposed to make people think. These people gonna be like, yay, some big ass crybabies.
Just me. I'm the crybaby. That's
What's
me.
up, J.E.? I have to say this. Let me bring our brother from another mother, although she say she is our mother now. Jonathan Ellison, what it do? Honorable trap gentleman.
Struggling. What's going on? How y'all doing?
Oh my
Look, I
God.
thought you was gonna have to go down your street and our street with your meat hanging out to get us some assistance
I was
today.
willing to do that. Let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. Let me be very clear about
Look,
something.
y'all, let me trip y'all out. So, girl Pam has fucked up her real expensive iPhone. So the screen locks. If you pick it up wrong, it just is temperamental, right? So I went to use her phone last night while mine was on the charge because we didn't have no juice, and
Jonathan,
we
don't
were
be
at Sky.
sipping
We
because
were
you
in, no
ain't
no
been
no no no
sipping.
no. We were at Skylar's house. My phone on the charger. So her phone does the stupid shit where the freeze freezes. You have to try and do a master reset no matter what, you could not reset it. So she got an attitude about the phone. I'm like, motherfucker, we ain't got no app. We ain't got no lights. We ain't got no
You
cold
supposed to
water.
be able to fix it. I expect you to be
That,
able to fix all things that's concerning me. So when you couldn't fix it, I was hot to death last night with you. And then it was the fact that she didn't care, people. She did not care.
I
And
did
it
not.
ticked me off even more.
I did not care that her fucking phone didn't work and we ain't had no electricity to power the bitch back up anyway.
I
So
was
she is
hot
right.
to death.
Hey, let me go and say this. It's been 6 days, but my neck look twice as fat. I know I ain't eating more. What is going on in this camera? I gotta fix this. Anyway, honorable trap gentleman, Other than no power, how your week going?
Shit, it's going. It's going. Everybody, it's crazy because national news ain't really talking about the struggle of what we going through in the city,
Right.
and so me having to repeat myself to clients that don't understand that they can't get the type of action that they would love to get from me and some of my people that also are in this region or whatever like that. It's been a struggle.
Yeah, because I've
It's been a
tried to
struggle.
explain that. I was trying to explain to someone the other day. Our service has been so spotty since
Yes.
Thursday night when the trees went down. We didn't, my screen was just doing a rolling gray thing. I don't
Yep.
know if I was out by our house or on Jefferson Page Road in any capacity. We just had a rolling screen, and they were like, "You're not responding." I'm like, "I
I can't.
responded 3 hours ago."
That's it. My
And I,
internet, my internet is trash.
right,
It's hardly anything I can do. So if it's, like you said, for the type of work that I do, if it's anything that is updated that I need to pull in, the internet has been trash.
trash.
So
And I
so
just,
it's like I
I was
can't
trying to
pull.
figure out, did the tree knock down the AT&T lines, because we could see the power lines. And when I
Yeah,
posted, people was like, "Oh wow, yeah." Like you couldn't turn down the street. These people couldn't get out their driveways,
that's it. That's
and
it.
they just didn't understand. Good evening, everybody. A few of the comments, Trina Brown said, "No, the Lord gave us some earthly friends." Yes. Nashanti said they owe y'all a credit. Nashanti, them bitches sent me a bill today and told me I better pay it by the 26th. Um, they can kiss the nastiest part of my ass when I was without water.
For real.
Uh,
For real.
Sorry.
No.
Trina
Ooh,
Brown says, "You my friend too, First Lady." Erica Gann says,
Oh,
I,
thank you,
un-
Trina.
I understand what you mean because I know this situation has made me see things differently. You really don't want to see things differently, but it makes you see things differently because even events, probably shouldn't say this. This is going to be a red flag on my part. We were invited to events. We couldn't make them because we had no water. Well, we had water. We had no power. But we tried to go through to the things that were important. And for some people to make excuses not to make it, I was just like, now, bitch, now you make me look at you differently. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Good evening, Kelly. Good evening,
mhm.
Denise, Cheryl, everybody. Jonathan, I'm glad you said that we were not being spotlighted on the national news because unfortunately, what is being spotlighted on the national news, let's just go on and show what the kind of fuck shit. This is why we not spotlighted on the national news. Titanic sub. More noises heard in search area, says the Coast Guard. Oh, okay. Also, no, don't stop. Hold on. Titanic tourist submarine vanishes during expedition. 5 people missing. Oh, really? That's okay. I'm not saying it's not important before y'all get on here with that bullshit. What I am saying, however,
I'm gonna say that.
what I am saying is we are spending millions of dollars in a rescue mission, and it's not funny. However, I'm for every Caucasian person that has made I'm a not that white joke, cause ain't no motherfucker trying to be so white that they worth $250,000 or they're worth $1 billion plus, and you want to put your ass in a Tylenol extended release capsule and get dropped in the ocean
To go look for the
that's
Titanic.
been gone for 174 years. How long the Titanic been gone?
For
200 years?
forever.
But what's crazy isn't one of the owners of this little vessel in the
Him
submarine?
and his son, right?
I
Mhm.
know the
I
owner
think
of this
so.
little mission thing is in there as well.
Yeah,
Of
So
Ocean Gate.
he's
yeah.
just as stupid as
And
everybody
what's
else.
so crazy is, look, one of the dudes that went on in 2021 talking about, they said, "What do you think about the voyage? It's not safe. The submarine is not." The dude, the
And he was
dude,
They
one of the
should have
ones that
asked him.
been on there.
he
Yes,
he went. Look, I gotta pull. You can't
they
make.
should have asked him before the rest of them got in
I
there.
bet you they did. And they stupid ass. You can't
Hey,
make this shit up.
so let me tell you something. Before I stay at a hotel or I get on a cruise or airplane, I'm check the reviews first.
You hear me? I'm checking
Yeah,
the
fuck the
reviews,
fuck the
but it
bullshit.
ain't no goddamn way you gonna tell me that They really thought this was a good idea. Talking about they didn't been before, bitch. Well, if you defied gravity and all logic once, you're gonna try to do it again.
What, like the boy say, what behooves me?
What behooves
they
me?
are driving this ship with a Nintendo game stick. Did you see
Oh,
No. They took
That's what you're not gonna say.
a Xbox
That
controller and
is
put a
no.
Xbox, whatever it is, it's a game controller. It ain't even a steering wheel.
what is it, brother? Go bring it on.
Walmart has these. So when you can't afford the real joystick, they sell you these brand called a Logitech. That is a Logitech doggone controller. Meaning you didn't even try to go get a real PlayStation 5 controller. You went and got that 1995 controller to run it. I could have saw that and went,
man, every time I see something about this store, only thing I can think about is when we had a Nintendo and we used to have to take the games and go and blow it out to make it work. Them motherfuckers better be blowing it out to make it work.
Let me tell you something. I was on an airplane one time, and it's funny that y'all say that because you know this girl that put out the report about Spirit Airlines, and she saw them using some duct tape on the wing or something. Let me tell you one time when Shreveport Regional Airport used to have them turboprops. They used to leave out of Shreveport.
Yep. I used to have to fly them into Memphis.
Let me tell you something. I was on one time, and the dude was out there with the duct tape, and they was out there scratching their head. I told that lady, unless she wanted me to tell up everything in that airplane, let me off.
She gonna let me the fuck off of here.
And she let me off because I knew something wasn't right.
Look, I'm claustrophobic. And so I used to hate getting on them crop dusters to go to Atlanta, Memphis, any of them little cities because it was just a hopper plane. When I read that motherfucker, the dude who went, he said I went in 2021. He went on to describe the conditions of the vessel. And I quote, there is no seat. You cannot stand. You cannot kneel. You can only sit for 10 and a half hours. Our legs are like a crab, like a snake, because it was so small. Nothing was comfortable. He added that the vessel was very, very, very cold as the temperature outside the vessel was 4 degrees Celsius. When asked if he felt the Marine would say, nope.
Let me tell you something.
And where was his boys going? Where was he going?
Here's my problem.
He did the exact same boys they own now. He did it in 2021. Here, what's your problem?
My problem is that bitch looked like a Lincoln Town car that's been balled up. And you didn't use this Logitech remote control to get me down there in the water. And you think I'm supposed to play with y'all? Literally, they have diagrams online that show you the depths of water. They have Empire State Building on the top of it. Then they have all the rest of it. If you go on YouTube and put in Titanic, there's other people in real nice ass submarines that had already went down there and gave you pictures of what's down there. But I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna put it back over to you. All these people that are out here to make us feel away because we making light. Well, I won't say light.
We're not making light of the situation. We want them rescued.
We are having an issue with the audacity of the stupidity that was used with this situation. But then at the same time, too, something dawned on me. Them the same waters that you chunked our people off the boat and throwed us in. So
full circle.
There's a spiritual something that happens right there when they say it's some shit you shouldn't fuck with. And when you get to going down and messing with certain shit, you got to deal with the consequences of it.
I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it because Malcolm X said chickens coming home to roost. I'm just gonna put that quote out there because the Titanic sunk in 1912. They couldn't get to the Titanic till 1985, and you some bitches gonna tell me it took them 70 plus years to even get to where the Titanic was to get some shit to recover or research, and you want to still be fucking?
Because who was the dude there?
I'm with Shawn Mims. I don't fuck with the ocean. Now I go on cruises. I don't have a problem. I go on boats. However, if you don't start respecting that shit, it will eventually eat you up.
Well, here's my problem. Didn't the boy that was in the Titanic movie, didn't he die on top of the water?
On top, half of them did. Because remember, if you were poor, you couldn't get in the rescue boats. See what I'm
So,
saying? If you
so
were
what
on the
makes y'all
Titanic
think?
and you were poor, if you were on the bottom level of the boat, which was the galley, you were not allowed to come up for air. They locked them in there,
Huh?
and you weren't allowed to get on those boats. I
Because
bet you I
guess
would
what?
have got through the gates
They
and got
had
on the motherfucking boat.
because at the end of the day, they had some of us on the boat being servants. So wasn't none of us
Exactly.
on there as a pleasure cruise anyway. So I mean,
So
it
all
is.
I'm gonna say is I know how to swim because I almost drowned. That's how I learned how to swim. After that I said I'm too big to be talking
Might
about.
get somebody else to do it.
When I went in that water following behind somebody at the church, I forgot the bitch was 17 feet tall. We just following in Lake Vista. No, she walking, we walking. She walking.
Oh,
And
not like this
look,
enough.
she went
Uh
down. I said, this ain't gonna be good. Look,
oh.
I'm standing in the water. I'm talking about,
Oh.
I'm talking about, I was like a poodle out there. All I saw was, I ain't never been so happy to see a white lady, and my white lady help me, please. Can you swim? White lady, come get me, please. That white lady came and got me, and I bet you I ain't take my ass in no more water until I learned how to swim. I promise to God. If I found that white lady right now, I'd treat her to a steak dinner. Where she is? Because all I remember saying is, how the fuck was I going to explain to my grandmother I didn't die in some water? I wasn't supposed to fucking be in nowhere.
Wait a minute.
It's trying to follow
What I
some
say?
gas.
What I say? If you die, kid.
If you die, because I swear to God, that would have been Louise Burton. You took your stupid ass in Lake Vista and died. Come here. Huh? Come here. I'll beat your ass right now.
You die, kid.
Anyway, I'm not making light of the situation.
No, not
Keep
at all.
coming with the I'm not that white people jokes. I'm loving it. We hope they're found and rescued, but they said they had 72 hours of air, and all I could think of was that clip in Harlem Nights when they closed them in the bank and they talking about breathe like this. They better take real short breaths.
Short breath.
In other Shreveport news, we're dealing with Sweepoatgeddon. Yes, I call it Sweepoatgeddon because I swear to God, Shreveport just can't get their shit together. However, I was tagged. Yes, Tyler, short breath. I'm talking about.
Stop it.
Little bitty breaths. Hey, y'all better take little bitty breaths. And don't be arguing the shit you use to miss airways to argue. Okay. I was I wish I could have taken a screenshot of this post, but you all know that this past weekend was Let the Good Times Roll Festival. It was the Juneteenth Father's Day. Of course, happy Father's Day to all the fathers, standing fathers. We love you guys. Those that we know that are doing a great job, you are truly doing a great job. However, it was brought to my attention that the vendors of Let the Good Times Roll were upset to the point they were making social media posts. They did lives. Jonathan, I intended to tag you in it, but the nigga don't fuck with me. So I didn't even waste my time. He likes to show his dick in people's inboxes. That's neither here nor there. However, he went on and made this is real talk. You all can, he even has made comments about himself. He went on to say how the Let the Good Times Roll Festival basically was trash, that the vendors lost money, and that the brothers of Omega Psi Phi were what did he put? How did he put it? He got robbed by educated black men.
They were counting their money.
And that they were somewhere counting their money after he had spent a month of prep, and that the vendors lost money. And so I've been waiting patiently to see if anyone would correct him and it was several people who were amen and co-signing. He has a pretty large following. Jonathan, I'm gonna send you the link if I can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't reward that behavior because the men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated a lot of them are brothers of mine, good friends of mine. Shout out to the bros. They do. Okay, let's start there. This is a fundraiser. Do you understand what that means, people? They are raising funds to give scholarships to underprivileged youth or those that deserve scholarships within our community. With that being said, I have been over galas. I have been over fundraisers. And it's hard as hell to get money from you motherfuckers. Okay? Like squeezing blood out of turnip. We say it's a fundraiser. How much is it? Bitch, do you want a ticket? So, with that being said, let me go back a little bit and give some backstory to this. Boosie was supposed to be the entertainment for Saturday night. Was it Saturday night? Sunday night? What Saturday night? The tickets were $35 or something like that. I think the passes were maybe 70. Well, Boosie got his stupid ass arrested. Okay, Boosie was arrested on fair charges. Thank you, Kelly. He was Sunday night. There is nothing. Some of those charges were dropped while he was in California. The feds picked up those charges. Do you all know what that entails? That
Right.
means that your ass sits there until they decide to give you a court date, until they decide to bring you in front of a judge or magistrate, whatever it may be in whatever
Mhm.
county you're in, and you just are sitting there. And they probably knew that he had performances coming up. They did that to prove a point because if I remember or if I recall, on today, he was granted
Yep.
bail, bond, bail, whichever one he was granted.
Knew what they was doing.
So that they knew what they were doing. So with that being said, he was unavailable, people. The bros scrambled, did what they could to bring in another entertainer.
Correct.
They brought in Yin Yang Twins and Juvie. And if you know me, I can go see either one of them all day because I know they're gonna perform and hype up the crowd.
They're gonna do their
They
thing.
brought, yeah, people
Mhm.
should not have been asking for refunds. I'm sorry, they just shouldn't. It is a fundraiser. If you were going to ask for a refund, I could see if you were asking for a partial refund, but not a whole refund, especially not if you took your ass down there anyway. So that's some of the backstory. When it comes to the vendors, this is an outdoors event. On Thursday night, we had a major catastrophe in our city that no one planned for.
For
Who
real.
in the hell knew that the sky was going to open up and all hell was going to fall out?
The meteorologist said, "Oh shit."
The meteorologist looked at y'all and said, "You stupid motherfuckers better get the fuck out of here, cause I ain't know."
The meteorologist said. The meteorologist said, "What is that?" Oh shit. When he said that, I said, "I better put some clothes on because this is get ugly as fuck."
You better put some drawers on, cause I
I
sleep
put some
butt
clothes on
You
because
better
this
put
is
some
go
drawers on,
hard.
cause this ain't gonna end well.
Mm-mm.
So I get Jonathan, you're a business owner. Girl Pam, you're a business owner. I'm a business owner. We've all worked events outdoors. We've all worked fundraisers. What is your take first, Jonathan, on do you think that the Good Times Roll is responsible for these vendors not making the money that they expected to? I know it's
So
a catch-22. It's a hard
it
one.
is. It's a catch-22, but I think what people have to have a very clear understanding of is number one. At the end of the day, man, people didn't know where their money needed to go at that time, and you because here's my problem. Unless there is a financial expectation that a fundraiser has given you with saying that you're going to be in a vendor for an event, you can't have an expectation of anything.
Right.
That is just like when you go to something and someone says, "Hey, it's a $200 vendor fee." But when you get there, the only thing that you can wish for is that everybody that is going to walk the path of your business, they either
Purchases
are
something
going
from you.
to need something that you have, they've already heard about you, or you have yourself out there knowing how to sell your product or your food. The next thing that is out there too is this, like you said, it's a fundraiser. If it's a fundraiser, what type of expectations did you have where you assume that you were owed anything? Because here's my problem. It's a lot of people out there that want to be vendors and this and that and everything else, but your food and your product ain't worth the fuck.
Even if your hood tell you it is.
Even if your hood tell you it is. My problem is you are now dealing with people that are in the most emotional state that they could possibly be in, with things already being weird, things already being crazy. So your expectations of what you thought things were supposed to be, it's just you just shouldn't have that type of attitude. It's
Right.
just it's a problem with that. And my biggest thing is too, if you play things smart and you say, "Hey, brothers, I know things didn't go the way we wanted it to go, or whatever the case may be. Would y'all mind working out something with me so I can have some allocation to make up for this later? Can I help y'all put another event on so we can get together and make some money, or whatever the case may
Right.
be?" Stop assuming that you think that you was gonna make this grand theft money off of everything that you're supposed to be doing, because here's reality too. Are you sure what you had available, considering that there was no electricity, your availability to get the food that you needed to sell and cook and everything else, was it really up to par for you to think you was gonna make the money you supposed to make?
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's
that
a
was,
lot of,
I
it's a
think,
lot of pieces that go
it's
with
a
it.
lot that go. People have certain expectations when it comes
Yeah,
to festivals and being a vendor, and you just assume. I tell
right.
people all the time, stop assuming.
And being a
Um,
business owner ain't for the weak at heart.
it's not. It's not. And like I say, don't think because your food is spoken well upon in the hood that it's going to make the money that you think. And I'm not
Right.
saying that it's not good or anything. I don't know one way or the other. I've
No,
never,
right, right.
some
Absolutely.
of the people that were complaining, I've never had it. However, the expectation you had after we didn't have electricity, we still had over 200,000 people in Shreveport on this weekend that were without electricity, us included.
There you go.
And
Well, let me say this right here. For once, I think he spoke too soon. Because just because the festival is over, all the bills and the bottom line has not even come through yet.
right,
The bros still have to get all the receipts,
yeah.
all the expenses paid. They have to get all the revenue in. They got to see what their bottom line is. And before he spoke, he don't know if the bros might have come back to the vendor and say, "Hey, I know you didn't make what you expected to make. We didn't make what we expected to make. Maybe let me give you this little bit right here to help you." He don't know what they would have done. But because he done went out there and
And
made
bad
such an
mouthing.
ass out of himself by talking about them bad mouth, he done cut himself short from ever being a vendor again. He done cut himself short on the possibility of what they might have done. Because speaking of a past treasurer of Shreveport Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, just because the bid is over, your finances are not over. Because you still got receipts got to come in.
Right.
You still got vendors that's got to be paid. You still got members of your organization that got receipts and vouchers that they have to
And it
turn
doesn't mean
in.
that you made a profit
You don't have your bottom number yet. The
Right.
event just ended on Sunday. Today is what, Wednesday?
with no electricity all them
They
days
don't
in
even
between.
have their final number yet to know if they in the red or the black. And he is assuming that they are in the black. But you
Well,
don't know if they are or if they're
Because
not.
he was saying how local leaders fucked them over. He was like,
But he also
Jonathan, if you
assuming
check your inbox, you'll
he
see it.
has
I'm not gonna, like I say, people, I'm not going to put the video out there. I'm not one to promote that kind of stuff, but I want him to be able to go and watch it later. To, he was just basically saying how the
uh,
vendors got robbed, and
but like another person already said, when the vendors sign up for this event, you have a vendor agreement that
right.
say that this is how much you're gonna pay, that you're responsible for this, this, and
And he
this,
was saying
and
they were
there's
charged.
no
He
guarantee.
said they were charging concert prices. I'm like, they were paying to see That's all they were paying to see Boosie, Yin Yang Twins,
okay.
or Juvie. Go ahead.
So 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 I just took a glance
Right.
at
Okay.
what you're talking
And
about.
as you can see, that this little fella right here ain't never done no real business in
Well,
his life.
so it becomes a neighborhood issue. And
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna explain to you what's going on here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in certain situations, there are people that have bad blood with the city because of what they've previously been through within the city and everything else. And like I said, we ain't gonna do too much talking on here because at the end of the day, yeah. what I will say is that I think he is coming from a standpoint of communities that aren't seeing these same people. And I'm gonna be real honest right now. I'm gonna be real super honest right now. The neighborhood that he's coming from, we don't see too much of a presence of these same guys. And so when something like this happens, we kind of go into it already with an attitude and with a certain.
Right.
What he should have done was, if he felt like that it was going to be a continuation of what we have not seen in Allendale or Lakeside, he shouldn't have never done it.
Should not have been a part of the
Right.
event.
He shouldn't have
I
never
agree.
done the event. And
Because you have history with them. If that's your history.
we gotta be
And I don't
we
think he
gotta
has
be
history with
honest.
them. He just feels some type of way
When,
about them.
and I won't say I get it, but I will say that if it's already on your heart that you have some type of issue
Mm-hmm.
with not seeing the presence of certain people in our community, you probably shouldn't be involved in it. Because that don't mean because you got involved that was going to change anything. The concept should have been, hey, I want to do something for now. What could have been better? He could have took that situation and said, hey, brothers, um, I want to address the concept that I have not been seeing y'all in Lakeside and Allendale.
Right.
And can we work together to create something so y'all can have a stronger presence when it comes to Booker T. Washington High School, when it comes to Jess Clark, when it comes to anything that is in that region? Let's create something. Let's work on something together. So I think a lot of times we forget that there's a dialogue, even in the worst situations, that you can take time to work with somebody and say, hey, look, can we sit together and figure something out so we can work together? But I think there's a lot of trauma that we don't address as men that we should take into the thought process before we get in our feelings, because at the end of the day, them dudes did the best they could when it came to that event. Hey,
And I agree.
the whole little tent situation with the sections and charging for that, I don't know
Right.
how I
I
feel about
don't too much agree with that. I feel a
it.
different way about that. But whatever.
But
I
when we
think they
bring
were
it back
trying
to this
something
situation
new,
there,
trying to do something different, trying to accommodate certain people, and try to do something different. It might not have been something that they will
Well,
go
that didn't
forth
work.
in the
That shit didn't
future,
work.
and
I
they
think
know now, hey,
I
it
think
might not
everybody
work.
was struggling. Everybody was struggling with how to keep things going, how to still make Juneteenth be a good event and everything else. Because reality is, there are certain points where the bros should have just sat quiet and not worried about what everybody else was saying until they got things figured out. Because reality
Mm-hmm.
is, when they throwed Webby out there, they shouldn't have said nothing.
Now that I totally
Webby
agree.
was
Don't
already
open your mouth until you got
else.
the ink dry.
Don't try, if you say you don't care what the public think, then don't fall into that shit. Because if y'all say y'all are kings or y'all leaders and y'all are representatives, take your time, slow down, and say, hey guys, we're gonna get back to you when we get it figured out.
Right.
You
Well,
just
I
gotta be
think what
honest
they
with
need to
something
do
like
is they need to have one person speak and not
that. They
several
need a
people
publicist.
speaking, and
I mean, if
that
you're
was the
an
problem.
organization that sits at the height that they sit at, they need a publicist. They need
They
somebody that
got too
holds
many
the social
Even if
media.
it's the Shreveport chat. There's too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
I now I agree with that. That now could things have been done a little bit differently? Yes. However, I just didn't see where the city leaders, because the city leaders did not put on this event. The bros put on this event every year for how many years, even if they're in conjunction with the city. I did not see where we should blame the city leaders. For him to say I got robbed by educated black men, to
No,
be all honest, you just take a lot. Whenever you sign up to be a vendor, it's a possibility of taking a loss.
it's a
It just
loss.
is when
Yeah.
people go to the fair, because the fair is not as attended as it used to be because of the violence. So when people sign up to be vendors at the fair, I know we used to be vendors at the fair. My grandmother used to do boudin at the fair. So sometimes you did well, sometimes you didn't. When we were younger, that's just
Yeah.
a possibility. And the storms, Like I said, now from what I saw from video, Sunday night was very well attended, even though it was Yin Yang and Juvenile and who else was there? Somebody else. I can't think right now. Sunday
Good,
night was very well attended, and
good,
I wish they
good
would
crowd.
stop talking about the. Go ahead.
But they had a good crowd down there. And so sometimes people got to understand that sometimes in taking a loss, you got to know what it is to walk around and really know how to sell yourself and market yourself. So,
Right.
I would have done if I felt like it wasn't enough people coming to my booth. You know what I'd have done? I'd have took portions of my food and just cut it up into small pieces. And I'd
Sample.
had somebody with a good attitude to go out and be like, hey, try
And a
this.
nice body. Fuck the good attitude. I would have found somebody that was fine as hell and say, "Baby, walk through the crowd with this."
True, true. And have them go out there and say, "Baby, try this, try this, try this, try this. How you like it? It tastes good. Hey,
If
come
so, come see me.
so and so. It comes." And so
But
people got to know how to sell themselves, and they got to come out of this energy where they feel like somebody owe them something. Don't nobody owe you shit in business.
Right.
I
Don't
will
nobody owe
say
you
this:
nothing.
Shreveport has got to stop thinking that change is not going to happen. Just because Juneteenth or the Bros did this, they have to evolve for this to get better and for them to make a profit. Sections
Mhm.
might not have worked at this time, but it something has to change for this festival to keep going, for it to keep getting better.
I
So
agree.
this might not have worked this way for this time. But keep in mind, we can't stay at $10, $15 a ticket and expect us to keep having this festival this time and keep getting the artists that we want.
Especially when prices around the world have tripled
And
since
artists
COVID.
are going up because I used to be in the event arena and the artists want their prices are going up. They want more and more for them coming out. So the ticket
Mhm.
prices are gonna have to go up,
Oh,
people. And
absolutely.
the bros have to find a way. If y'all want these
To equal
artists to
that.
come out, they have to find a way to get the prices to accommodate the artists and to be able to be in the black. So
But I also want the bros, like I said, big salute to them. They've done good job every year. I want people to also understand that the concept of the quality of people that you want to come to these events to pay for sections and to not trip. You, if you're gonna charge me $100 for a section, you cannot offer me Hennessy. You gotta, you
your
gotta
price
feel
gotta equal the
it
quality.
gotta equal to
Unless
what
that's
you're.
just your drink of choice. I
If that's
agree.
your drink of choice, I salute you. That's what you do. I salute you. But what you're
But
not
give me the
gonna do
choice.
is you
Give me the choice.
can't be friendly. You can't be friendly with these niggas in this city that throw these events and give this cheap ass shit and charge high prices and assume that you're supposed to pat them on their motherfucking back and make them feel special.
Don't give me
But the
Andre
bros,
Champagne talking about it's a hundred
they
dollars.
go.
Bitch, I'll knock you
Because
upside the head.
at the end of the day, it's some of these same niggas that's throwing these same big events that's
Uh
charging all this
oh.
money, and these
Uh
niggas
oh.
counters pouring Corona beer inside of champagne bottles. So that's
Uh oh.
what we not gonna do.
Here we
But
go.
what we gonna do, but salute to the bros for what they did. It's gonna be infractions and issues in any event that you do because everybody ain't gonna be happy.
Right. A
And
few of the comments, that's just reality. A few of the comments, Nashanti says, Amen, AB fundraiser are a beast. Kelly says, shout out to the bros. Nashanti also said, we need to be thankful we have houses and places to stay. It really could have been worse. And I totally agree. I was, like I say, Friday and Saturday may have been a little bit more scarce because people were still up in arms. A lot of people still didn't have electricity. Sunday
right.
night, the event was very well attended. She said they were trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Kelly says you have to have tough skin as a business owner, as a person, period. I'm a business owner for sure, and as a person, period. Like you
Right.
got to put your feelings to the side when it comes to business. Keith, what's up, Keith? Keith says always a struggle with grad and undergrad. It's a fine line. I know you. And shout out to the brothers of Phi Beta Sigma. We saw them on the Centennial. Them boy, hold on, I'm getting to that. But Keith was on there. I had to say that because they had a big boy that was repping hard. That big boy, I'm just saying, that big boy went hard. I was proud of big boy. Hold on. I don't want to hear all that. Kelly said also everyone's emotions were very high because of the situation. Shaw Mills, now this gonna be a tough one. He says his prices were high too. So Shaw knows who I'm talking about. And again, like you say, if you coming in there complaining after being a vendor at an event that it's not a lot of people there, you're trying to make the best of a situation, and you charging $30 for a steak plate, then you probably aren't going to get the big
Right.
30 or $45.
Especially if
You're
you're
not
picking up
going to
your
get.
steaks, you picking up your steaks from county market. You can't do that.
Bye,
But you
Jonathan.
also have to
Jonathan.
adjust your prices
Jonathan.
for where you are.
Jonathan.
People got to change their prices for where you are. Do a little special or something for where you are. Do something different. Don't keep the same prices and the
Hey,
same
if
thing
you're
for where
picking
you
up
are.
your steaks from county market and charging me $45, I'm not going to buy a damn thing either. I'm just putting it out there. Anyway, while I was on the subject, she is correct. They did the big D9 Centennial program on CNN Live. Was it Monday? It was on CNN Live Monday. They had the D9, the Panhellenic Council was there representing. They had everyone there. I don't want to get any names wrong, aka Alpha Phi Alpha, Phi Beta Sigma, Sigma Gamma Rho, Zeta Phi Beta, Iota Epsilon,
All of them.
and the poodles. I got the poodles wrong. I didn't want to say it wrong. And of course, the legendary members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, where my wife is a proud member. If I didn't say that, she was gonna fight me. I'm already. Look, we already on the damn divorce wagon after these 6 days. I told Jonathan them last night. They better come get her or me. Somebody got to go. Kelly Speed said, not Shoppers Value. I'm just saying. So we appreciate that. But like I said, for me personally, I just want people to know this has been going on for years. Let the good times roll. We want it to be bigger and better. We can't complain when they're trying to make it bigger and better. And the prices, people, everything is triple the price. Since COVID and the world opened back up, you're not getting everything is triple the price. Prices are going to go up. Prices are going to increase. If you want quality, you have to be willing to spend the money, and that's all we're saying. So I think we should kind of give them a slight pass. They did the best they could with what they had, and we don't know what their profit margins were. We don't know where they took a loss. Hell, they could have given Boosie a $10,000 non-refundable deposit. We really don't know what, because it happens. We see it all the time. Their deposits, most entertainers, their deposits are non-refundable. And this was a situation out of his control. That may be in his closet. He doesn't give that money back. We really don't know.
You don't know, people. You don't know.
You don't.
And they don't know what their bottom line is yet, of course, I'm sure. Today is Wednesday. This event ended on Sunday. They don't know what their bottom line is as of yet. So don't always assume that
I have a question. I'm sorry. This is my question. Anybody can answer this question. Put it in the comments, or Jonathan or Girl Pan. Does the city charge them for using Festival Plaza?
they should.
I'm gonna say they charge them, right?
More than likely, they should charge them for using Festival Plaza.
Yeah, they do.
They
Okay,
don't get it
and
for
see,
free.
well, if they charge them for using Festival Plaza, then they did lose a profit because Friday and Saturday was not attended hardly at all. They said it was a ghost town. Even Valonda came and told us that it was trash.
Considering the city shouldn't be.
Hey, that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to put that out there. The city charges, unless it's a city event, you are charged for using Festival Plaza, people. I'm just saying. So you have to take it.
You're charging them to use the event. They have to pay for security and police. They have to pay for a lot of different things that, I mean,
and they have to pay.
They have to pay. They have to pay them for the electricity. I heard that back there. Really? Oh.
It ain't free. That's why I say they don't.
I mean, I knew it wasn't free, but I just didn't know what the breakdown was.
They have
Really?
to pay for all them tables and chairs and all that stuff like that.
Especially when some of these other event throwers go to the city council and ask for money back for events that they
Mm-mm.
throw when they want to cut and they want to do different festivals and everything else, and they want a little money back that the city and different organizations have available in grants and everything else that they used to get back from their little homeboys when they was mayor of Shreveport. But that's neither here nor there.
It, you said it when they little homeboys Mayor Shree of Sweepoat before he decided to endorse Mayor Southern Classic Chicken. Then now they all felt a different kind of way. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Y'all, that's my non-electricity heat talking. Y'all have to overlook me. Jonathan's COVID from 2020 be getting in my body sometimes. Swear
Well,
to God. I'm
bro,
just saying. Look, I wasn't gonna stay on here long. I just had to come out here and say that, get those couple of things off, let people know. I hope that by tomorrow, everyone in our city will have power. We are hoping and praying. Peace be still. No rain. All the rains they've been predicting have been staving off, and we are just hoping and praying that everyone within our city
keep it that.
has power. Huh?
I say keep it that way.
Keep it that way, that they have power by tomorrow, because we have got to make sure that you guys join us on next weekend and on next Wednesday. And the reason why, Jonathan tagged me in a post, um, and I have not had time. I spoke on it, but I'm hoping that a lot of you went and got the books that we had. Look, it's like being back in school all over again. Y'all have to do your
For the God,
fucking homework. You have to do homework when you're around us.
you ain't
Jonathan,
lying.
can you go let me know about your post so I can, before I end this,
Yeah,
the one you made?
yeah. So I guess the concept is just discussing. It's a form of foreplay that we can discuss that talks about neural massages and being able to create that exploration of learning where your mate wants to be touched and how they love to be touched and discovering their erogenous zones and everything else and the possibility of it ending with a happy ending before you even get to any level of penetration.
Mm.
And so that's the level of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about different oils. We're going to talk about different things that you can use. I'm a big advocate of having those massages where you can warm lavender oil with a little mint in it after a hot shower and just you know have them little moments together in bed where you can
You
enjoy.
know what?
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
that's war talk, people.
yeah,
I keep
yeah, yeah.
explaining to you guys what war talk is. Tonight we had to discuss real life facts and real life situations.
For real, we're gonna
But
take
on next
it.
Wednesday, we go back to our adult sex ed 101.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
and look, Kelly said she saw the foot post and got excited. Kelly, you into feet like that? Look, I got a thing about feet. My feet have to touch girl Pam's feet when I'm going to sleep. However, I don't like for people's feet to touch me.
All
I
right.
don't mind her feet. They have to be groomed.
There you go.
They have to be groomed though.
You're not supposed to
So
touch
yeah,
me with no eagle's claws.
you are not finna touch me with your talons. I'm sorry. I got a real big thing about feet, and if ever you touch me and that foot feel even slightly rough, I'll be like, say, when you set that appointment, because I don't,
Get somebody else to do it.
get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. So don't forget, on next Wednesday we're back here live. Hopefully we'll be in our home live. And we'll be back live to continue with our adult sex ed 101. Didn't you have a question you wanted to ask? I don't remember. Before I go, look, we were talking about support. Do y'all know how important it is support? And by support, I mean sharing a post, telling a friend, sending someone a link. You all have got to support. We were talking about Juneteenth support. Jonathan knows I always support his brand.
For real.
Always,
Always.
always, always. I send people.
Always.
Jonathan is always calling me to my, do you know such and such? I was like, oh yeah, I sent them. Well,
Look,
do you know?
I be trying to figure out who folks is. I don't be knowing nothing. Shit, for real.
So with that being said, we have a new package to unveil. Let's see. We have a new package to unveil. Oh, I can't even. Oh, Johnson got this shit. Hey, if for nothing else, you can't get in this motherfucker. Won't nobody take
For
it
real.
from you.
On nobody
Where
lying.
my key? I don't have no. Get that pen right there. So support, support, support. I always have to support and shout out my people and their brand. He was having an amazing sale, and Jonathan like it when you use your discounts and all of that.
For real.
Um,
Yeah, I want people to have their discounts and enjoy the concept of what was doing. I do
Thank
some.
you for your order from the House of David. Oh, that's me. Boy, shut the front door. I hate that picture, but that's me. Look, and look, QR code on the back, all of that.
Look at it.
Support people, support, support, support. Come on now. Come on now. If you're not into
Oh yeah.
pocket squares, lapel pins, brooches,
So I put some a little extra in there for people.
look, the
You know.
packaging is always. I'm using the wrong camera. I'm sorry, guys. Support, 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 and look, you know which one I had to get. I love them geisha girls. Oh, the hell with y'all. I'm going to tell your mama. Yeah, tell my mama.
I'm
Yes,
upset.
yes, yes. This is going to look very nice in a blazer. And of course, you need a grooming kit. You see that?
That's
Is
it.
that upside down? Yes, it's upside down.
I appreciate the fact that the 3 hours are red, Jonathan.
Oh,
I
the 3
appreciate
hours
it.
are red.
I figured you would. Yeah.
Look, Trina, I gotta send you the link so you can get in there. Look,
Yeah.
I believe that men and women should be well groomed, and
That's it.
so I believe in support. House
That-
of Dapier.
I
Look,
appreciate.
I don't have the voice he has. He gonna have to say it in his voice, but y'all know what it is. Y'all panties be out.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
ain't getting
Well,
into all that. So
we
on next week, look, I do too much. Yes, yes, Trina. So on next week, we're back right here live at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Adult Sex Ed 101. She told me I wear draw. I keep telling him he need to come out. Let me tell you something. Y'all need to come out. Big and tall men need to come out with some big and tall draws because I get tired of seeing them little nut hugging draws they be wearing. They boxer briefs be too short
you
and
know
they just
what?
like little panties.
Rihanna almost had it. She
Savage Fit, yes, she
she
had some nice ones, but
almost
what's the
had it.
ones with the booty cheeks out? I didn't get it.
Not them. Not them. Not them. She was doing good with the ones that she had because they caress you in the right spot and you can kind of move yourself around. I appreciate them, but my problem is she does not have a slit in the front for you to. Yeah, she didn't do that right.
Is that important for me?
It's important for you.
Very,
Oh
very
my God, did she say that out loud? What is wrong with this girl?
damn crazy. Pam is crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
We love her, but she
Back to my question was the reason why I asked because we as women do not want to see men in them old boxes that our grandfathers used to wear them plaid boxes, and they
play.
always had the slit, and it always was a piece of nut or a piece of meat hanging out. It
Guess
was
what?
absolutely
Them boxer
disgusting.
briefs,
But
them boxer briefs. I'm gonna need that little separation right there too, for random little situations for real. Cause
gotcha,
yeah, I'm gonna need that too. But that's where she kind of failed. It's super covered, so you have to pull them all the way down to get access.
like a gal. Nah.
And
Yeah, Trina says she needs that slit too. Trina, if you use your slit for what I use my slit for, then we ain't shit.
Trina, and I'm sure you
and
do.
y'all not because guess what? We all using that slip for the same thing, so it's okay.
Yes, I was just
Okay,
thinking, are we
some
all using that slit for the same thing?
motherfucking thing. So,
You know what? Even when I try and stay on task, even with a catastrophe in the world, we somehow come right back around to not
to
being
not
about shit.
being shit.
I
To not,
don't even know how we get off topic, but
It's
okay.
okay.
not
We like it
shit.
here.
And men, I need to know: do y'all prefer the short boxer briefs around your nuts or the long leg? Because I prefer to see
I need the
men in
long.
long.
I need the
Yeah,
long
because them
because
them
them
short
short
boxer
leg
briefs
ones.
around y'all nuts
Mm,
ain't cute. And Shaw Mim, don't you get your funny acting ass on here and say shit to me about what you looking at me in they boxer briefs for, because I already know that your smart mouth ass gonna have something smart to say. I'm just saying, when I see guys out, I don't want to see your nuts and your boxer briefs all in the same bunch.
Reality is, I want to be held into a spot. Hold me right there, unless otherwise. But that moving around and I ain't got time for
I
that.
think the moving around is for the younger guys. They like that so the girls can,
No, hold my meat in one space. I do not see
so,
all. Please, I ain't got time for all this. Hold my meat
Shaw
right.
going Shaw talking about, I'm gonna let you slide this time. I'm trying to help y'all. I'm trying to make sure they make draws for y'all. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to see that shit.
for for for
He
for
talking about, I
men.
sure was wondering.
For grown men. Yeah, for grown men. Yeah.
Grown men, yes.
For
All
grown men.
right,
Yeah.
folks. Well, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, next Wednesday, we're gonna have the man about town, the voice of the South, to tell us what you all need to know
Right.
about
Right. Right.
this shit.
When we get to next week, uh, pay attention to your community
Mm-mm.
and people that are in it.
Yes.
There are elderly people and people that are ill and everything else that are in your community.
Without
You need your
power.
help. Without power, without probably situation with water, food, whatever the case may be. Even a situation where that elderly person may need you to go by there and help them move limbs out the yard.
Yes.
For the last 2 or 3 days, that's what I've been doing. I've been going to some of the people that live right there around us, helping them get trees and stuff out their yard, or getting a bottle, cases of water and just putting it on their
Hmm.
porch or whatever.
Ice or whatever. And that's
Anything
what I want people to.
to anything that you can do to try to help somebody in whatever situation they may be in. Because one of the things I know I would want, if I was out the country or I was somewhere right now, I would appreciate if somebody would make sure that my mother or grandmother or sisters or whatever is good through this craziness and everything else. So put something on your mind to just, like I say, pay attention to the people that's in your community, or if it's
Yes.
and you said something earlier, if it's a community that you don't even live in no more, go back and see what you can do to go help. Because there's some
Yes.
people struggling like a motherfucker right now. They weren't able to have generators and be able to travel somewhere to get food or do whatever or go to a hotel. Just figure out what you can do to help others. For real.
I agree. With that being said, Mr. Johnson says, I'm in Ollie's right now looking for an AC. Walked in their house. It was an air fryer. And fuck a fan drive. We should be past that. I
Swear
didn't want to bring it up, but I was trying to
to
figure out
God.
why y'all was giving out fans and they ain't had no electricity. I'm just asking
Well, my
for the
biggest
people.
is even when they get electricity, you ain't doing them but blowing 80 some 90
Hot air.
well air into some of these people's houses. Like,
Hot air.
Well,
bro,
let me be
y'all was doing
devil's
that.
advocate.
Okay.
My sorority has had a fan drive for the last 40 years. It's something we always do for the elderly, and it's nothing that we're gonna stop. But it's something that we do for the elderly because every elderly person, no matter if they have air or not, they still want a fan circulate. Gus had 4 fans, one for every
Absolutely.
room.
And so what's important
So
now for us to do, what do we do to escalate up to getting the air conditioners and actually working with Swepco to cut down on the elderly's bills?
Yes.
Because what happens is the elderly people are scared of air conditioning because they think it's going to be an extra expense.
Yes.
What can we do to work with the AEP, Swepco, and everybody else in order to get credit or cut down on the elderly's bills? Because at this point, the type of weather that we had 20 years ago when it come to heat ain't the same type of heat we dealing with
Cause
right
we in global
now. We
warming.
we dealing with 109 heat indexes.
Hmm.
A fan
And next week it is going. And that was her. We had central air put in her mom's house, and she would never turn
hmm
on. We were like, "Why is it so high? I don't need that." Yes, the fuck you do.
Well,
but
a
It's
they
lot
hot.
scared,
of them
but
are
the economy
afraid
scared
of that bill, but a lot of them have that monthly bill that AAP have. But the problem is that when it's in the winter, it's still high. They
it's
may be on that
right.
that monthly bill where it's the same amount all year, but a lot of them don't like it because in the winter when it should be lower, it's still
Right.
high
Right.
and they
Right.
cannot afford it. My mom was on it
Right.
and it just worked for her because luckily her monthly income was afforded for her to have it. But some of those elderly who monthly income is a lot less than some people's are, they cannot afford it.
And
So
that's
some of you
because
city leaders, go ahead,
that's why some of these people that say that they are lobbyists or they in Baton Rouge all the time and everything else, what I want
or
them to
that
do,
they're advocates.
I want them to start going to the state buildings and having these conversations in order to figure out how do we work out something to work with the commission, the commission of utilities, the commission of everything else, and figure out how do we work out something that we help the elderly out to cut the costs down. Because I'm not knocking nobody from what they doing or how they do it. Fans just ain't it no more.
Yeah,
Fans,
and so all
what's
now,
next? What's
Nashanti,
next level?
Nashanti said something because I was about to say that, Nashanti. Once you miss it, they have to pay the entire bill. It doesn't work for it. And
Oh,
I think I was on it that I one time years ago, and I was like, then I got hit with this extremely large bill. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, you were passed to do that, and I'm like,
you,
huh?
you need to report
I
it.
one time years ago, and girl Pam's like, you need to get on that, and I was like, I just rather pay my fucking bill because
That's
if
it.
you miss, they give you the whole bill, and they rape you no Vaseline anyway.
Right.
So all of you little civic, they do. All you civic community, city leaders that be sneaking and watching the podcast later. Yeah, you thought I didn't know, huh?
Them.
Yeah. While you're doing all that, you need to be working with someone
Let's
at
figure.
SWEPCO
Let's
to
figure out.
implement
It.
some type of program and figure out how we can help these elderly people get an academic. They're gonna sit in one room all day anyway.
There,
Go
there
to the
you go.
kitchen and come right back in that one room.
That's
When they
it.
go to bed, they don't want the air on because they stay cold.
Because
However, they need.
the energy that y'all use to laugh and joke with them to get crawfish, I want you to laugh
Mm-hmm,
and joke with them to get them little coolers that push out cold air. I want you to
mm-hmm.
consistently take bags of ice to them so them same systems can work. I want you to do whatever it is that you need to do in order to change the concept of how this shit work. Because again, this is not 1980. It ain't 1990. Heat indexes are going to continuously get higher and higher for Louisiana. When it comes down to it, somebody needing somebody to go get their medication for them, or get proper food for them, or get them the fucking cold air that they need and everything else. And I don't mean no harm when I say this, but if y'all gonna be the leaders that y'all say y'all are, be the leader.
Lead.
Take care of your fucking community, because it's some of
Totally
us,
agree.
some of the same motherfuckers y'all don't like, that's taking care of their hoods. You
Come on.
motherfuckers ain't doing nothing.
Come on now.
I'm gonna shut up now.
Yeah, hey, they don't want him. They don't want me invited to the table, but I'm probably giving some of their parents cold water,
But
hot chicken.
guess what?
When
Because
they mama had
hey,
when they mama had a tree in their kitchen, we were going over to
huh,
visit, coming up through the kitchen floor. Yeah,
because
yeah,
bitch,
bitch.
because bitch, we are the table.
We are the fucking table. I don't need your seat.
For
Okay, people, it's
It's time.
been it's been
She wanted us to shut the fuck up. Okay, thank you. Final thoughts, girl. My final thoughts are: do what you signed up to do. Stop having a title, and stop having a position without doing the work behind it. Do what the fuck you said you're gonna do. I'm just saying. But anyway, go ahead, baby. My final thought. I love y'all. Hopefully, we'll be back at home. Yeah. Go ahead.
oh Jesus.
She ready. She ready to knock me into the next room.
My final thoughts of the week, in light of what's going on with Shreveport people, check on your friends and family because you never know what they're going through. I tell people everybody smile doesn't mean that they are smiling on the inside. You never know what people are going through. I
True.
am not one to tell people what's going on with me. So you might never know that we didn't have power for 6 days had it not been for this one over here, who is very vocal and outspoken.
They need to fucking know.
But check
shit.
check on people. If you know that something is going on in the world, shoot them
And
a text.
look,
Say, hey, I'm just checking on you.
And
And
please check on the strong friends.
look, had to have a baby shower during the motherfucking heat wave.
Man, and they pulled it off. They pulled it off the baby shower with a window unit from a generator.
So,
But they
check on
pulled that
your
motherfucker
friends
off.
and family people. If they're your real friends and family, keyword is real. If you really care about them, check on them.
That's real.
Check on them.
Check on your strong friends and family people. It's the strong friends and family. We never say a word. We just keep going. Jonathan and I have been in the same boat. When things are not going right, when the train isn't chugging along and there's a diversion, we can't sleep, we can't eat. I told her, I know I'm finna tell y'all
to
to
sleep, but you're mean as a pit bull.
yeah, I can't sleep, mean as a pit bull puppy because things
Ooh.
aren't right. I told girl Pam, and I feel like we all family. I have had a nervous stomach for a week. I don't get nervous stomach. I've had gas, and I'm just like, what is wrong? My stomach has been all upset. Hadn't been able to eat. My rest is broken, which I don't rest a lot anyway. My rest was broken. I'm just like, I am sick of this shit because I like to stay up for 24 hours doing fun shit or because I'm doing something else, not because I'm hot or I don't know if the dogs are okay. I don't know if she's okay.
Oh, you be worried about
Oh, fuck that.
War talk.
Goodbye. Good. You know what? We love you all for
War
free.
talk.
Yes, Kelly, we love you for free. Yes, check on your strong friends. Jonathan, any final thoughts before we tell the people goodbye?
No, my last thing was a final thought. Like I said, check on people, check on your people, but check on others. You know, people need you right now, and even once the electricity comes on, they're gonna still need you. So just keep that shit consistent, and do the best you can with that.
Because, yes, I agree. I'm out of here, but y'all do know, even when the electricity comes back on, if the temperature is so high, it's going to take probably a couple of days before your house. Don't be like, oh, my electricity on. You fine. You're not fine. It takes at least probably a couple of days for your house to get back to
But
a
the
decent temperature.
Japanese whole house hot, yes.
Check on your folks shoplifting at Walmart on Mansfield Road, baby. We in Marshall. They on their own tonight. I'm sorry. I love you all for free. See you next Wednesday. Something for the People podcast. Tune in. Peace.